Hello, my name is Ben.
And my name's Andrew.
And welcome to the Too Vague Podcast. One word, two hosts, stories, trivia, and video games. We've got Andrew in the studio today.
I'm back. Back from my travels.
To parts unknown.
Yeah, the time I went to Tucson and I was too tired to come do a podcast.
That's fine. Don't worry about it. That's cool.
It was like traveling with a toddler.
Yeah.
I honestly did not go east of I-10 the whole trip. So, yeah, and you live east of I-10 in the sense that I-10 kind of comes through Tucson from the northwest and leaves out the southeast. So
it's like a big digestive tract.
It is the ascent of the American digestive system, Tucson.
Exactly. Tucson, Arizona. How have things been going, man? I see that you are knee deep in sending out your zines and things to Congress. How's that going?
It's going really well, and I just finished up. Yeah, I started this project because of just sort of feeling like overwhelmed and helpless in a lot of just bad information, the specific bad information that was coming from the guy that's in charge of Health and Human Services right now.
Right.
Specifically about autism was really making me feel horrible.
This announcement was some sort of a registry or something?
Oh, no, it's not just one thing. It's several things that he's done.
Okay.
But, especially since April is like Autism Acceptance Month. And in the middle of it, he was spreading a whole lot of stuff about really basically old stereotypes about autism.
Right.
And just reinforcing those, sort of ignoring most of the newer knowledge that's come out in the last 25 years, 30 years.
But does that really surprise you given the current administration, though?
No, it doesn't surprise me, but it makes me feel like I need to, just because I have done writing about autism to try and expand awareness. And then I'm like, well, the thing that I can do, and it's probably sort of a stunt, but we're in circus time, I guess. But it's to send a copy of my little zine, A is for Autistic, to every member of Congress.
Yeah.
Probably even going to send it to the representative from Guam, because I just learned that Guam has a representative too. So
okay.
I'm not sure if they have full voting rights or what, or how that works. I just realized J.D. Vance is technically the president of the Senate.
Okay.
I don't know. I didn't want to involve the executive branch at all because they make me feel icky. The legislative branch, I don't know. For some reason, I feel I'm just going to stay focused. Just me sending these out is just part of an effort for me to be like, oh, here's these packets of information I've made about this thing that people have a lot of questions about.
Right.
And when people read it, the response they give me is that it was very helpful. Nobody has ever told me that I'm wrong and an asshole for writing that. People keep picking up copies. It's like a good seller at every bookstore that it's been in. It's a nice steady seller, so it means that it's reaching an audience and they're appreciating it. And so I believe it does its job.
Instead of just complaining and speaking into the ether and saying, this is what the truth really is, and getting into kind of social arguments and stuff, you're actually doing something that could have an impact.
Yeah.
And if it impacts one senator, I mean, that's a success, I think.
Or even if one person on somebody's staff happens to actually look at it and puts I would find that worth it. It's probably going to be more than one actually look at it. I'm sure it will get lost in piles of letters and things, but you know what? It's got a bright yellow cover, so that'll help it rise to the surface of the old slush pile. I'm sure they get buried in mail. And so the mail part is something that I know I can do.
Yeah.
And then there's the sort of stretch goal of the GoFundMe, which has been going on. So the GoFundMe's totally hit the goal for what I need to just print them and get stamps for them. All that is in the works as we speak, which will probably be 3 weeks in the past whenever this comes out, or maybe 4. I'm not sure how the backlog is, but
the show is a temporal pincer move.
Exactly. So we'll send the inverted zine back.
Yeah, exactly.
Every listener, anybody who wants a copy of the zine can.
They've already got it.
Everybody who wants it has already received it because of the temporal pincer move. Yeah, more on that later. But my stretch goal or my bonus phase on this project is I do have a friend in DC who works in policy and kind of knows that it can be done to go into congressional office buildings and sort of talk to the people and hand off like, oh, this is something I want the representative to have.
Right.
Hand them a letter or whatever. And so long as you're nice and polite, I think you can do that. And I'm thinking maybe I should find some cheap plane tickets and do like a quick little trip. There's no way I could hit all of them, but I think if I would probably try to hit the Oregon ones and probably the Arizona ones because I grew up there and they're all busy doing stuff. And so it's kind of a stunt. So I definitely would need a videographer and a podumentarian along to record it or something. We'll see what happens.
Just the fact that you're doing this, I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
You don't need me to be proud of you, but I am. I think that this is a very positive way to handle this kind of idiotic, uneducated, try and educate them.
It just seems like it's the right thing to do in the sense that it's not nothing and it's not just going out there yelling on a hill, having a packet of information that'd be like, look, I think this is helpful information on these topics.
Yeah.
And it's important to me. There's so many things going on that are important. So I'm like, well, I'm going to pick one and do a thing.
You need to do a little bit of training.
Training?
Yeah, for when you get out there with Congress and stuff, if you're out and you see members of Congress.
Like, don't punch them right away? What are you talking
Exactly.
about? No.
What I was thinking is get one of those inflatable dummy things, the blow-up ones with the thing on the bottom, and put the face of Marjorie Taylor Greene on.
Oh, shoot. I forgot that I'd have to give one to her.
Yeah, and then not punch it. That's what you got to do is just
not punch. Okay.
Exactly.
I'd be like,
you would be tempted every time you would enter your office to punch it, but you just don't.
She's not going to be in her office. It'll be fine.
That's true.
I mean, I'm pretty sure nobody's going to be in their office unless I make arrangements ahead of time.
Would your connection be able to do that or help you facilitate that kind of thing? Or
maybe for one person.
Okay.
He might be able to give me pointers on when it's more likely to run into somebody, but these are all very busy people. It's an action that has meaning, and just doing it, letting people know, hey, I'm doing this, that spreads the meaning out.
It's a protest in a way that's a little bit more productive, I think.
I'm on a diplomatic mission.
Yeah, that's a good way to frame it.
I'm trying to be like, hey, there's this bad information that's getting spread, and here's another look at these topics. It's not the whole of it. It's not like I'm not going to pretend like my little zine is 100% everything about autism,
right?
Because the reality is there are people with high support needs. Profound autism is a big deal, but I also think that the scaremongering tactics that get taken about just trying to make people be afraid of autism, and that's why we need to find a cure. It's more like, well, why don't we look at it as these are people who, have a different embodiment in the world, and we should figure out how to help them be more engaged in this world.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, oh, you're a burden on your family and you don't pay taxes.
Instead of demonizing.
That's the main thing that he said. He's like, these people destroy their families and they don't pay taxes. It's like, what are you doing? Elon's right there. He doesn't pay taxes and he destroys his family. You can cut that part out. Yeah, we don't want to get in trouble with Tesla investors right now.
Oh, well, yeah.
I don't know. Wait. No, he's in trouble with Tesla investors. Yeah, I mean, really, I do think the cabal of billionaires will sit him down and straighten him out someday. Or spike his ketamine. I don't know. But I mean, if something mysterious happens to Elon Musk, I didn't do it because do not feel like going near him.
Maybe that's the face he put on the punchable thing.
The fungible thing. Just put him. I'll be like, keep the Doge Rose away.
Besides the positive action that you're taking, what else have you been up to lately?
I'm still working on the old, the ADHD book. Well, I mean, it's still in editorial, in the phase where it hasn't come back to me yet, but we're talking about doing a tie-in deck of cards, different strategies or sort of perspective things, definitions about ADHD. So
yeah, I'm
writing that slowly because, the really important things to say, they come out slowly. Or I don't know if they're important. I just want to make sure that I'm saying stuff with my voice.
Okay.
And that it's an approachable voice. And because that's one of the things that I feel a lot of people will feel sort of patronized or talked down to. And so sometimes I pick up one of these books or one of these thingies and just get mad at them and throw it back down.
Okay.
And I'm saying that because that's sometimes my reaction.
Okay. I was going to ask the tough question being that, but
I've got my mentor, salty psychology book writer, Faith Harper,
yes.
is encouraging me and then sharing weird internet memes all the time. It'll be a good product, but it's still probably 11 months out.
Okay.
Because of all the things. It just takes that long to publish stuff.
So I heard you watched a movie.
Oh, I did. Yes. So for regular listeners of the pod, you'll know that for quite a while, Ben has been trying to get me to watch Tenet. And I resisted because I have some feelings about Christopher Nolan as an artist.
Okay.
Do I have feelings about him as a person? No, I have no idea who he is as a person. So did he do something terrible? I don't know. But did Inception really annoy me? Yeah.
Do we clue in on why that was?
Because I think 3 dreams deep is dumb. That if you go more than 3 dreams deep, you'll never come back. I was like, I just can't. So maybe that is like just me being a butt and not really Christopher Nolan. But
I don't know what kind of dreams Christopher Nolan's having, but I don't think I've ever had a dream where I was dreaming.
Oh,
have you ever had a dream where you were dreaming?
Sometimes.
So it does happen.
It happens. It's like you have a dream and then
in the dream you wake up from a dream or something,
or in your dream I feel like a lot happens in dreams. I really think it's like your brain just has some like crazy hiccup and it's like the actual dream probably only takes place in like 2 or 3 seconds and then you just come out of it feeling like all this stuff happened, when I'm not really sure how long dreams actually last. Brain activity happens, and not usually is it that some weird shadowy secret agent type guy is trying to plant information in my head. I don't think that's ever happened.
Okay.
To me. But I have had episodes of sleep paralysis where the shadowy figure in the doorway is like there making me feel creeped out. And
yeah,
it's usually when like a sleep paralysis thing happens, that's when I find myself kicking into a dream within a dream. But I haven't really had the sleep paralysis in a while because I've graduated in my life into being a CPAP user.
Okay.
Which, speaking of Tenet, I was like, look, that guy's got
a CPAP.
Who's that guy with a CPAP mask on, just like driving that car backwards? What?
You didn't know you could do that now?
I just got to get the plug-in adapter for the car.
Yeah.
And I can drive backwards really fast.
Exactly. I think part of the reason why I enjoyed that movie so much was I needed something after my father died to kind of, I don't know about distraction. It was something that he wanted to see because he liked Inception. I did not like Inception, but I did like Tenet. Temporal pincer moves aside, what were your thoughts on the movie as a form of entertainment? Was it annoying to you? Like Inception was annoying?
For this one, I decided to just go along for the ride. Catherine didn't want to watch. Right now, as a teacher, like especially during the school year, she just wants to watch things that are kind of calm and cozy.
Yeah, and this is definitely
And I
not.
would say Tenet is not calm and cozy. No, it's...
No, especially with the music. The music is so appropriately, I don't know about disturbing, but it makes you uncomfortable. And I think that's by design. That whole score is supposed to make you feel like something's out of place.
I'm not sure which direction things are moving. Yeah, the whole temporal pincer move.
Which I still don't 100% understand what the whole thing is there, but I mean, I kind of get it.
Pretty convoluted.
Yeah.
You've got the one team moving forward that fixes, and then the team that's moving backward, and if they both shoot the building at the 5-minute mark, that's pretty cool. It explodes in both directions. Like,
that was a cool effect. I mean, I like that effect. That was kind of neat.
It was neat. But I also think that if I let myself think too hard about how that stuff would actually work, I would start getting annoyed. And I let myself stop with the inverted bullet holes in the glass.
Yes, we talked about that a little bit before the show.
In our pre-show, I was like, the inverted bullet holes. I was like, so the bullet is causally backwards from our perspective. So the guy waves a gun in front of the glass, a bullet comes out of the glass into the gun. that means 5 years ago when this room was built and the contractors are there installing the windows, they're really like, holy crap, this window's already got 8 bullet holes in it. Like, put it up anyway. It's quitting time, you know.
Here's the thing. Within that whole stream, right, of time,
yeah,
the bullet holes going the one direction were going into the glass.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And for him, they were coming out of the glass. So there's only been a certain amount of time that they've been in there, right? You think about it, he shot him into the glass. But at the same time,
the glass pane was whole in the future, in our future, until it gets shot, right? So that timeline's working backwards. That window is broken all the way back in the past. That window was never whole when it was installed because the breakage travels backwards. Is what I'm thinking. Like the inverted damage should travel. And this is me overthinking it. But that's why I'm like, yeah, that doesn't. I need to let this one go and just enjoy the movie.
That's the reason why I suggested that you just watch it like you're just on the ride with the dude. He's part of some sort of protection agency and he's sent, it's like, and then also you got the big reveal with Robert Pattinson at the end.
Turns out he wasn't a vampire at all.
No.
Oh, wait, that was a different movie.
That's You want to spoil Tenet? No, he's a lichen.
He's a lichen. You had to have an inverted silver bullet.
Lycanthrope? Is that what it's called? Lycanthrope?
Lycanthrope, yeah.
Because when I think of lichen, I think of the stuff that's on a tree.
Oh, yeah, that's spelled differently, so.
Yeah, but that's the first thing I think.
See, if you visualize the way it's spelled when you hear it, then you know the difference.
Yes.
But not many people do that.
So, temporal pincer moves. No, temporal pincer moves aside.
Temporal pincer moves. I made a connection here when you're talking about the thing you didn't like about Inception was like not relating to the character.
Yeah.
I think that's probably why part of what let me go on the ride for Tenet is I liked the protagonist guy. And I like the Robert Pattinson guy. I like them.
Yeah.
So maybe they're just, that's an important thing if you're going to have these other things going on that you just got to accept.
Exactly.
That they're a little goofy.
Yeah. If you develop early on relationships to these characters and you admire, even though, what's his name? Michael Caine, Sir Michael Caine was giving him crap for wearing a Brooks Brothers suit.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I thought that was hilarious.
You're just supposed to be a billionaire and you're wearing a Brooks Brothers suit. Come on.
It's like,
step up your game.
Just because I'm a billionaire doesn't mean I can't be thrifty.
That's right. Have you seen how Bill Gates cuts his own hair? No,
yeah, exactly. Right there.
I don't know if he cuts his own hair, but
he looks like he does.
That was a Seth Meyers joke, I think. It's like showing how much money you can save by cutting your own hair.
But anyway, if you connect with the characters, you can look past. And it's the same way with games too. Honestly, I can look past a couple of game mechanics that are off or don't quite fit or a little bit finicky or not 100% enjoyable if there is a story and a character that I'm invested in, that I care about. So you enjoyed the movie for what it was. You're probably not going to rewatch it and try and figure stuff out because you pointed out the thing with the installation of the glass, but who knows when it was installed that way,
Yeah, but there's also, that's the one where you just got to let it go. Yeah, I don't think I would try to watch.
And you also said the theater seats. When did they install the theater seats? Did they install them yesterday?
Yeah, the guy was like, it's already got a freaking bullet hole in it. What the heck? This just came off the truck, But on the other hand, it was like Ukraine, so they're probably like, bullet hole. I got 5 at home.
Right. Was he evil enough, the villain?
Oh, Kenneth Branagh?
Yeah.
He was way up there on the evil scale. Absolutely self-centered.
Yeah. Well, and then there's also that thing towards the end where she kills him when she saw herself swim away, but she didn't know it was herself swimming away. That was when she actually killed him, but she didn't kill him the first time. I don't know.
There you go. That's a whole extra mess.
The her that's moving backwards.
Because technically, that means he gets killed before all of the rest of the action of the movie, in which he's a prime mover That's another thing that doesn't make sense, but I let it go.
It's just an interesting concept, I thought. That was
it was an interesting concept. It was an interesting concept, and then the problem is people like me find these questions about it that I'm like, I just can't resolve that. And then,
well, and you don't have access to Christopher Nolan, who should be able to explain it to you.
And he'd be like, just buy a popcorn.
What's been going on with me? One of the things that I did a couple shows ago, I talked to Eric about Brainstorm and how much I love that movie, which I've talked to a lot of my friends about.
Right, you're talking to Eric, then you talked to me about talking to Eric, and then I got confused and thought you were talking about Dreamscape for a second, and then I remembered, no, Dreamscape's a different movie.
With Dennis Quaid.
More like Inception, I guess. He's all going into people's dreams in that one, too. Maybe that's why I didn't like Inception.
Because of Dreamscape?
Because I was like, this is just a rip of a Dreamscape.
Sort of.
I don't even really remember the plot of Dreamscape.
It's more like government's using this thing to do nefarious stuff. It was a little bit more straightforward.
Oh, yeah. It was like the government's using the best psychics in the world to go into other people's dreams. And Dreamscape had its own dumb conceit. But it's not Brainstorm.
Not Brainstorm. And so I thought I should watch this again.
Mm-hmm.
And I only have it on DVD. So I put the DVD into the thing, and it's one of those old DVDs where on one side it's full screen and one side it's got the two different formats, and it was before the age of high definition, so it doesn't look 100%.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
And of course, it was designed to play on a smaller TV.
Yeah.
Every TV now is like huge compared to what they were like in, I don't know, when did you get that DVD? Like 1998 or something?
As soon as it was available on DVD is when I got it, because it was like my favorite movie.
I'm trying to think, like, that's about that time when, DVDs were coming out and they were still like, actually, I think for a good 10 years after that, they're probably doing both the widescreen and the...
In full. Because we still had square televisions.
It's square televisions till Obama finally got rid of square televisions for us. We blame the Obama administration for a lot of stuff, but they helped us get rid of analog TV.
Yeah, exactly.
And square televisions.
So I was like, I need to purchase this on Blu-ray because it's one of my favorite movies. I go to the website that has the cheapest price, and that was Walmart.com.
Mm-hmm.
Log into Walmart.com, and I accidentally sent you a copy of the movie. I purchased it, and then after I looked at it a second time, I was like, oh, this is going to you because it was still around from when I sent you those Pringles.
That's right. The Pringles, yeah.
The hot honey and the Philly cheesesteak Pringles. So I accidentally sent you Brainstorm. So then I was like, well, I've talked to Eric about this, and I'm kind of curious to see. He said that, like, streaming it, he doesn't know where to stream it. It's like, it's $10. Might as well buy it for Eric. So I bought it for him. And then I bought it for myself. So there are 3 purchases of the Blu-ray of Brainstorm.
Mess up Walmart's sales data with that. But
You think? It's like there's...
I bet they don't get so granular on their analysis. I don't
You don't
think so.
Okay. What about banks? They wouldn't be able to tell that it was Brainstorm, would they? Probably not.
Well, they might. I'm not sure how granular their information is, but...
Yeah. So, yeah, I've been... making excessive purchases of a single movie on Blu-ray. And then also, the other thing I've been doing is playing this game called Clair Obscure Expedition 33. This is a wonderful game. Everyone's talking about it. It's like the belle of the ball, with everyone saying that this small company, Sandfall Interactive, they're from France. It's kind of modeled after JRPGs, which are mostly turn-based. It's like more classic JRPGs, but since
what does JRPG stand for?
Japanese role-playing game.
Oh, Japanese role-playing game. Oh, okay.
That's what the J stands for. I guess technically this would be an FRPG, right? Because it's a French role-playing game.
Oh, a French role-playing game. Okay.
But it's not.
Well, if it's the Japanese enough involved, that's...
It's just colloquially known as a JRPG, but it's an Eastern approach to RPGs versus a Western approach to RPGs.
Okay.
That's kind of the distinction between JRPGs and RPGs.
Yeah, okay. So none of it has to do with rocket-propelled grenades.
No. None of it has to do with that. As far as I know.
Different kind of RPG.
That's a different kind of RPG. It's got French in it. When the members of your party swear, they say things like merde. I don't know.
Merde. M-E-R-D-E? Merde. It's also the thing that they say instead of break a leg.
Oh, they say mirrored?
In the dance community, they say merde. Yeah, that's their way of saying good luck before a dance show.
Huh.
And I think that's because that started in the day when the main source of transportation power was the horse.
Okay.
So people were always coming in from the streets with a bunch of horse merde on their boots.
Gotcha.
So they're sort of wishing, we hope the whole house gets full of horse manure. That's what I heard. But it's like a funny tradition that
I didn't know that.
that's the trivia.
And also in this game, there's this interesting meta narrative about the writers versus the painters that is kind of alluded to as you're playing this game, which is an interesting sort of thing. And you come across these ghostly figures that seem out of place time-wise. And it's a great game. I do have a couple of complaints about it, but I'll hold off on those for the spoiler cast. I'm really enjoying my time with that. I gave up on giving Sucky Assassin's Creed a shot, which was
Sucky Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, which is Star Wars Outlaws. Are you ready to get on to puppets?
Puppets.
Yeah.
We're talking about puppets.
Yeah, we're talking about puppets this week. I got a game code for a game called Once Upon a Puppet, so I'll talk about it when we get to the video games. Puppet is a noun, a movable model of a person or animal that is used in entertainment and is typically moved either by strings controlled from above or by a hand inside it.
Mm-hmm.
Very simple definition. Check out the Google Ngram viewer and come up with a theory while I'm reading the origin of puppet, which is mid-16th century, denoting a doll form of poppet, generally having more unfavorable connotation. So there you go. That's puppet from English, meaning puppet.
Okay, there's the engram. Okay.
The use over time in print. Yeah, it's got this weird sort of peak somewhere in like 1970. Do you think that has anything to do with Jim Henson?
I think it has something to do with Jim Henson.
I mean, that's around his time frame.
Totally. I mean, I think this 1950 bulge is all Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy.
What about Señor Wences?
He's probably, in that whole 1970s. He's probably in that. He's just riding the coattails of both those guys, I think.
It's not the valley there. It's definitely on the upward. Right?
Oh, what? Yeah, I think he was like coming in, riding that curve, showing up on the Love Boat or whatever.
Yeah, the Love Boat. And then
and for people who are too young to understand what a Señor Wences is, it's a Spaniard who draws a face on his hand and makes a puppet out of it. And then also he does things. Yeah, he throws his voice around.
Right. And he says, "Sarai, sarai."
Sarai. Yeah, look at him. He had lots of different puppets, but yeah.
Did he have a lot of different puppets? Because I only know the hand.
The hand. Well, I mean, he would do. Okay, the hand was like a big one. Was it? Yeah, the one, and it was like a little girl or something, or was it a little boy? Whatever it was. Did he do like a Parkay commercial?
I mean, that would make sense.
Yes, he did.
Butter.
And we're talking about Señor Wences, and I'm like, why am I thinking Parkay butter?
Is it worth watching?
Probably not.
Okay.
I mean, maybe. Or you just put it in the show notes. Throw that at people. Okay. I mean, for people who don't know.
Yeah, we're doing another for people who don't know.
People who don't know.
It was the popularization of margarine.
It was a branding attempt. We'll say that. Yeah.
I didn't know his hand wore a suit.
Yeah, that's right. They were. I mean, I think it's just weird.
So Señor Wences was the puppet?
No, he was the guy. He was the ventriloquist.
Gotcha.
He was the dude, yeah.
Okay, Señor Wences was the ventriloquist, but what was the puppet's name? Does he have a name or just a...
Johnny.
Johnny?
Yeah.
That's a kind of a boring name.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Well, no, he had a bunch of different characters. Like there's Johnny, the childlike face drawn in his hand. There's Pedro, who was a more gruff voiced, disembodied head in a box. Señor Wences was forced to invent the character when his regular full-size dummy was destroyed during a 1936 train accident. So yeah, it's like, I think that's it. Like he was a ventriloquist, and then his regular ventriloquist stuff got wrecked.
In a temporal pincer move.
Part of his act involved throwing his voice while his mouth was otherwise engaged by like smoking or drinking.
Okay. You mentioned to me something about creepy puppets of Fred Rogers.
Oh, right. Yeah, the puppets in the neighborhood of make-believe on Mr. Rogers. I mean, Lady Elaine was really creepy.
Was she?
Yeah. I mean, to me, she always seemed like she was up to no good, or she was just had her schemes and like selfish and crabby and trying to set people up.
She kind of looked like Fred Rogers.
Kind of sounded like him too, actually.
Yeah. Lady Elaine Fairchild.
It was only recently that I realized she wasn't related to Morgan.
Only recently.
Only recently. All right, for people who don't know what that joke is, Morgan Fairchild. She was on Melrose Place and in Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure.
Named after Fred Rogers' adopted sister, Elaine.
Oh.
It's Lady Elaine Fairchild. And I think each one of the puppets was a different piece of a person's, you know what I mean? Like it focused on a different personality.
Oh, yeah. They would focus on a different personality trait. Yeah.
Like Daniel
Tiger, yeah. And then there was the owl.
And then there was the king and the queen. And
yeah.
But they were all kind of strange looking puppets.
They were puppets from their time.
You know.
Most puppets are kind of strange looking.
Really?
If you really think about it too hard. Like Yoda. Weird.
I mean, to some extent, R2-D2 was also a puppet.
Oh, yeah. R2-D2 is totally a puppet. Gosh, I just remembered something. There was this Australian act, like maybe 25 years ago, called The Puppetry of the Penis.
Okay.
Basically, they would just do their puppet show with their penises. It was not an all-ages show, not for kids. But they sold out some shows.
Yeah.
That was a gimmick at the time. Now it's just like, like riding the bus. Put your puppet away.
You remember Lady Aberlin?
Yeah.
Betty Aberlin was the actress's name. She and Kevin Smith became friends, and she was in Dogma.
She was in Dogma?
She was the nun.
She was the nun? Crazy.
Yeah, that Loki convinced to leave, take the money and go. That's that.
Oh, she's been in a bunch of Kevin Smith movies.
Yeah, she has. I thought that was an interesting sort of fact.
Movies since I stopped watching Kevin Smith movies.
I don't find them as intriguing and funny and relevant anymore. I mean, I understand there's this piece of, you know, when he was making those movies, comic book culture was still fringe.
Yeah.
And nerd, you know, sort of culture was fringe. And now it's not. Now it's pretty much mainstream. It's
the Christopher Nolan.
No, I don't think.
No.
I don't think it's Christopher Nolan. I think it's
making the Batman. No.
Partially, it has to do with Disney and Marvel, and
what it really has to do with is that a generation of people who grew up on comic books as a cool visual art form, they went to film school, and then they got to a point in their careers where they could make more, like Jon Favreau.
Oh yeah
Frickin' made Iron Man and made a cool movie that people liked and could relate to because he liked the source material and understood it. Pop culture stuff, people who actually grew up with the source material and had a sort of respect for how those storylines work, and a respect for the people who like those stories, being like, you know what, we don't have to just, you know, make everything be the origin story all over again.
Right. I mean, and there are also video game examples. My point is that it's more mainstream now.
It is more mainstream now, yeah.
I just saw a Jon Favreau movie. Well, not a Jon Favreau movie, but a movie with Jon Favreau as an actor in it when he was much younger, when it was Replacements, the Keanu Reeves vehicle where they're football players that are replacement football players because there's some sort of a strike.
Oh.
And they want more money. And Keanu Reeves, who was in the Sugar Bowl or whatever. Anyway, Jon Favreau is an actor. And that the first thing I think of Muppets, and I think of Jim Henson.
Oh, Muppets and Jim Henson, yeah. Yeah, near and dear to my heart.
Why would you say it's near and dear to your heart?
Because, you know, being a kid at the time where you could watch Sesame Street in the morning and the Muppet Show at night and see the many aspects to Kermit the Frog's life.
Around that time also when the Muppet movie came out. And
the Muppet movie, yeah.
I mentioned my complaint about Disney and Marvel and stuff, but you knew that shortly before his death, there was a deal in the works to sell all the rights to the Muppets to Disney, right?
I remember that because they'd already like done some collaborative stuff.
Yeah.
There was a Muppet Experience thing that they did at Disney World.
Yeah. In a different universe, if the Muppets and all those things were owned by Disney, what would have happened?
Oh, I don't know. Nothing. I mean, if they'd started out being owned by Disney.
I mean, if it was owned by Disney from the 90s forward.
I don't know. I do think a lot of the people that were the core like Muppet performers, I think they probably had a serious loyalty to the Jim Henson vision.
And the company, and the Creature Shop.
The Creature Shop. I mean, yeah, they were doing their stuff. Like, it's hard to say. Like, I was not involved in that.
It would have been different. He wanted to do it so he could be working more on the production side of things and less on...
Yeah, I think that sometimes there's like a thing where like you realize that, oh, running a company is a lot of work, and maybe I could let someone else run the company and I'll just do the things I want to do.
And I think that was the reason for the sale, which fell through after his death.
But then eventually it did go through.
Did it? I don't think it ever went through.
What,
really.
Disney owns the Muppets now. They did finally acquire the property. Yeah.
When was that?
I'm pretty sure they did.
Huh.
Also, the fact that all Muppet stuff, I would have to get a Disney Plus subscription to prepare for this episode, and I just didn't have enough time to set that up.
Okay. It looks like they did acquire the Muppets in 2004.
Except for the Sesame Street characters or Sesame Workshop.
Gotcha.
But I don't know where the Fraggles fall and all that. Sony's got the Fraggle Rock. No Fraggle Rock characters retained by Henson. Okay.
Labyrinth still.
Labyrinth.
Dark Crystal still, I think, under the Henson Company, maybe.
Well, let me tell you about Labyrinth.
Okay.
That's a movie that had some messed up puppets in it. And this is a little known fact, but the guy that, like the Goblin King in Labyrinth, actually wasn't a puppet.
Huh.
It was a real dude.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Wearing a codpiece and singing songs.
That was David Bowie.
David Bowie, yes.
Yeah.
Known to some as David Jones.
Davy Jones?
Not Davy Jones. David Jones. They had to change his stage name to David Bowie because frickin' Davy Jones was already recording things. Too bad he had to go and get a cooler name.
David Bowie is a cooler name. Much cooler name.
It is a cooler name. Yeah. But his son does use the Jones name. So, did he make a movie involving puppets?
Who did?
Duncan Jones. He's a film director.
I'm not sure.
He made the World of Warcraft movie, but I don't think that was a good movie. I didn't see it.
You know, I thought about the Muppets, the Jim Henson Company, I guess, had a couple of projects, two things that stick in my head. One is Farscape. Did you ever watch or enjoy Farscape?
I never watched Farscape. It was probably like on a cable channel I didn't have at the time.
One of the main characters was this pilot that was connected to the ship, but it was a huge puppet. And then they have one that looks more like a regular Muppet. But my friend Graham brought in his editions of Farscape for us to watch on the weekend. And the people that I work with did not like it at all. And I said, yeah, well, you want to make this sci-fi better? Puppets.
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of that silly story. And now it's a joke between us. You know what would make this thing better? Puppets.
Not much. Yeah, man.
Oh, there's also The Curious Creations of Christine McConnell. I don't know if you had a chance to see that on Netflix.
No.
I'm not sure if it's still there. Christine McConnell, she started out doing all these interesting food modeling stuff, but The Curious Creations of Christine McConnell was kind of a Martha Stewart-ish, but with a horror sort of theme. And
6 whole episodes, yeah.
Yeah. And it was so good. It was so much fun. It didn't take itself seriously. It had this really cool mummy cat character. It was clever. It was like, I'm going to kill them with kindness. Oh, that takes so long. It was a cute little series, and she still does renovation stuff. Now she's designing shoes, I think. She's got a company that does shoes. But that show, The Curious Creations of Christine McConnell, was so imaginative and fun.
Mm-hmm.
They should have had another couple of seasons, but I don't know how Netflix determines what they, anyone who's seen it says it was pretty cool. And it's like when she was doing her things, her refrigerator had tentacles that would come out and hand her stuff, like she was making things, and it would be like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then also there was this meta thing where the puppets would go, "Who is she talking to?" Like she was talking to you in the audience, but they would be like confused. They'd be like, "What? Who is she? Who is she talking to?"
All right. Like, wait,
So those are the things I think of when I think of puppets. So anything else you want to bring up before we get into video games? Phil Tippett, stop motion animation.
Oh, those are cool too. No, I mean the main thing I was thinking of, started watching this movie called Dummy.
Okay.
It's like Adrian Brody plays this kind of dorky Adrian Brody guy. I'm sure this was like early 2000s that was made, but yeah, who gets a ventriloquist dummy, and I don't remember how it ends because I barely restarted watching it, but it starts off with a little bit of Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy,
Mm-hmm.
who like there was like an old like vaudeville ventriloquist act that went on. So it was a ventriloquist and his dummy act, and the dummy Charlie McCarthy was much more popular than Edgar Bergen himself. So like there was a radio show based around this ventriloquism act, which it takes a lot of imagination.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, like, the dummy Charlie McCarthy, like the puppet, was the big personality. Like Edgar Bergen was himself like just this really mild-mannered guy who didn't know how to get out there, but he'd put that puppet on and he could talk to everybody.
Right. Right.
Which was wild. And then, but the interesting thing, there was a Mo Rocca. He does this podcast called Mobituaries. He did the Mobituary of Charlie McCarthy.
Okay.
So he talked to Candace Bergen, you know, the actress. She's the daughter of Edgar Bergen, the guy who had the career of being a ventriloquist on the radio, which, wow, blows your mind. And also on TV later in movies and all that. But
right.
It was really about like her big resentments about how the dummy was like an actual personality in their home, and things revolved around him because he was the moneymaker, and she had trouble relating to her dad in any way that didn't involve this puppet. And it was kind of like this weird creepy thing where like they referred to him as her brother, and she's like,
huh.
Jeez.
That's very odd.
It was an odd thing. It was like, wow, there's a whole lot of odd going on with this.
She was
Murphy Brown.
Okay, not moonlighting. That was
Sybil Shepherd.
Sybil Shepherd. That kind of explains her gruff exterior.
Exactly. She had to like put up with some parental BS.
Parental puppetry. So to
weird,
speak.
yeah. So she had some weird feelings about that ventriloquist dummy and how it was like, yeah, it's an interesting thing to listen to that take.
Mobituaries or
Mobituaries, yeah.
I'm gonna check that out because that sounds really interesting.
It is interesting.
Who's it? Oh gosh, what is that guy who does all the puppets? Burnham or
Dunham?
Dunham? Dunham, yeah.
Yeah, Jeff Dunham, is that him?
Jeff Dunham. He does a Señor Wences thing with the pepper, or at least it reminds me of the Señor Wences thing.
He's got a lot of different puppets, yeah, and some of them are racist, like Ahmed the Dead Terrorist.
Okay,
that's the one I think of. I'm like, it's a product of its time, which was the 2000s, right? Mortimer Snerd. Oh no, wait, Mortimer Snerd was a different guy. That was Charlie McCarthy's hillbilly cousin. Yeah.
What was the jalapeno on a stick? What was that guy?
On a stick.
On a stick.
Yeah, that's probably the same guy. I think that's Jeff Dunham. Yeah.
Yeah. There was a Twilight Zone with a puppet that was an evil ventriloquist dummy that was the star of the show and wanted people to be eliminated or whatever things, right? I think there was.
Probably. That sounds Twilight Zone-y. There's also been like episodes of shows where people get turned into puppets. There's an episode of Angel where he gets turned into a puppet because there was like a demonic kids show where, yeah, it turned people into puppets. And so he was not only a vampire with a soul, but he was also a puppet.
It was a puppet with a soul and a vampire.
It was made out of felt. Yeah, they had to figure out how to undo that. I forgot how they do.
Before he met Bones.
Yeah. And then I saw a really messed up movie, Meet the Feebles.
Oh, yeah.
That was a Peter Jackson movie, you know, before.
Everyone hates that, don't they? Meet the Feebles, or
Do they hate that movie?
Yeah, do they?
I don't know if they hate it. I think it's just really surprising because it's very raw, and I bet the audience now that is used to things like Rick and Morty would be like, yeah, this is great. I think at the time they're like, wait, you're showing puppets having sex? What are you doing?
I think I've caught pieces of that. I haven't seen the whole movie. You've seen the whole movie, yes?
I saw the whole movie. I think it's meant to be a satire of the puppet movie genre. And
right.
so and so it just goes gritty and talks about everybody's, drug addictions and shows all the puppets in their worst moments as if they're like actual human performers. It's like that way, like a behind the scenes documentary of what goes on, but with puppets. And then the one of them that's the heroin addict shooting up, and it's like, it's images like that. I think the people who hate it are the ones that like accidentally rented it to show their kids or something without realizing that, oh no.
You want to make this documentary better? Puppets.
Let's replace everyone with a puppet.
You want to make this video game better?
Puppets.
Puppets.
Are you playing a video game with puppets?
Yes, I am playing a video game with puppets. There was a game back a long time ago, I want to say it was on the PlayStation 2, called Puppeteer, where it was, I don't know, they were trying to capitalize on some sort of like weird voice, Ren and Stimpy kind of thing where they were saying weird stuff and you would pick up different heads and I don't know. This is different. This is a game called Once Upon a Puppet. It's developed by a company called Flatter Than Earth. Published by Daedalic Entertainment. Daedalic.
Daedalic, yeah. Guess they're going to fly too close to the sun.
Like Daedalus. But anyway, so yes, Once Upon a Puppet. If I say it's a 2.5D platformer, do you know what 2.5D means?
Sounds like 2.5 dimensions.
Yeah, but I mean, what
like
is
trying
that
to
really? It's
trying to fake a 3D effect.
Yeah,
using some perspective tricks.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. When you play these side-scrolling beat-em-ups, they are already doing that when they do the cabinet drawing, that perspective anyway. So you don't have to say 2.5D.
I think it's a marketing gimmick.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It's to some 11-year-olds just barely got the concept of 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional, and they're going to be like, let's buy this video game. Everyone else just says that's fine.
I just think it's kind of unnecessary, but you're right. 2.5D is probably a marketing
thing. It sounds like marketing BS language.
Yeah. It's described as a 2.5D puzzle platformer. You are a seamstress, or you're basically a hand. You design different outfits and stuff for the king and the theater, and you are cast down into the understage, and you get connected literally with a puppet, a boy. Drev is the puppet, and Nieve is the hand.
How are we spelling Nieve?
Nieve.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, if we're spelling it the Irish way, that would be awesome.
How is that spelled?
Niamhe.
Okay.
That's okay. It's a German publisher, so they're not going to spell it the Irish way. Why would they do that?
Probably not. The weaver gets connected to the puppet, and what they both do is together they kind of become more and more connected emotionally as they're exploring what is happening, and there are, things being cast down by the king into the understage, and, they have to sort of, I guess, solve this mystery, but what they want, what Nieve wants is to be sent back to the stage, and Drev is just a puppet who likes to be an actor. So throughout the game, like as you're unlocking the different levels, a lot of the puzzle solving revolves around placing props on a stage in a certain way. And there's some limited sort of power things that you gain to like slingshot you up to things or to navigate. And, it's just like a typical platformer, right? Where you unlock different powers, and that helps you get further on in the level. One of the things that you do as you discover these spools of thread is you create these outfits, and there are only a number of outfits that you create that are actually usable as powers. There's probably, I think, like 10 different outfits, but it's not like you get a new power with each outfit. I wish they would have done that. But it's, for what it is, end to end, it's like a fairy tale. You've got a narrator who tells the story, and it's really kind of a kid's game in that sense. And I think it really well done.
It's like kind of sort of creepy German kids game.
Well, no. I mean, it looks sort of Tim Burton-y.
Yeah, it does look sort of Tim Burton-y. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got some
I'm just looking at the little video reel of it. I'm like, yeah, that looks cool.
It is a fun little puzzle game. I would have liked it to have been a little bit more powers, more actiony, but it's a lot of sneaking by stuff and navigating the environment. There are some minor problems with falling off certain parts, but I mean, that's, like if you go a direction that's weird, that you're not supposed to, you can fall into the emptiness. But
that's just like real life.
Just like real life. Yeah, exactly. You're just continuously falling
into the emptiness. That's every night.
The story is really kind of a heartwarming fairy tale about a king and a prince. And I was satisfied with the conclusion of the story. It is not something I would say you have to play, but it is a cute little fairy tale, easy platform type game that I completed in about 6 hours. And I would say it's good. It's good if you like that kind of trying to figure stuff out. Very simple puzzles, but that was my experience with Once Upon a Puppet. Thank you to Daedalic Entertainment for providing me with the key code so I can play it. I would be looking forward to seeing what this company does with a little bit more funding and a broader scope, because I think this could have been something a lot more actiony. I prefer action platformers more than puzzle platformer. There's got to be some sort of fighting and stuff in it, but that's just a personal choice. So that is my puppet thing on video games. Can you think of anything video game related with puppets?
Does Dungeon Crawler count?
It's sort of, it's claws.
Inverted puppets?
Shadow puppets.
Oh, man. Shadow puppets.
There are so many types of puppets, too, that we could talk about. But do you want to close the show with a little bit of puppet lore? Or what is the last thing?
Puppet lore. Okay, so, sorry. Like, how do I preface this? So, one of the trainings that I would do for my day job that I'd have to get refreshed on once a year was the nonviolent whatever, I forgot what it was.
Nonviolent puppet fights, marionette fights,
nonviolent crisis intervention. That's what it was.
Okay.
The thing is, like, I just focused on the nonviolent part. Like, I like to be nonviolent, but part of it is like what to do when you're working with someone who's getting out of control of themselves. Like, the last resort is going into like, oh, I need to hold you still so that you're not hurting yourself or anybody.
Mm-hmm.
That's like doing a restraint, which I hate doing, and I hope I don't have to anymore. It shouldn't feel like an okay thing to do, I think. I think it's like a good thing that I hate doing it.
Right.
And also there's a lot of other things you can do, just like working on proxemics and trying to figure out, what does this person need? How can we help them figure out how to calm themselves before we need to go there? Most of the time you can figure something out. But, part of it is practicing stuff in real time and real space. And, but then there was that year where like nobody was leaving their house, but I still had to take the training anyway. So it was online.
Uh-huh.
And the guy who does the training, he's a cool guy who I like him. He's good at doing the training, but he also is into puppetry and made his own marionettes. So he started doing a thing, for this. He's like, well, I want to show you like how some, people moving in space and how they might do this kind of thing. Like the supportive stance was basically how to stand in a way that's not threatening to somebody else, but still be engaged with them.
Okay.
Which is like sort of, you stand kind of off to the side. You're not facing them head on. You're just sort of like making sure things are open. So you're supporting them with your presence. But anyway, he was illustrating how to do that with his marionettes on the little Zoom screen,
uh-huh.
which that was kind of awesome. And then he just sort of kept that part of it in the training afterwards. He kept like bringing the marionettes out, which was kind of fun because it's like, yeah, I just like making puppets and doing puppets.
Did you ever play with marionettes when you were a kid? Because I was fascinated by them, but
I feel like there was one that I could play with.
yeah,
I must have played with them as a kid. Yeah, they were kind of neat.
there's one that I remember, and I think it was maybe just someone designed it themselves, but it was like a bird connected by a bunch of like foam balls or something. Where
Yeah. No, I remember that style. Yeah. I think there must have been like a craft magazine that showed you how to make it, because I think everybody's mom made those.
Okay.
Like in
Yeah.
the 70s. Like,
Right.
it was like
right.
somewhere with like the macrame stuff, and then here's the foam ball bird marionette.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Once Upon a Marionette would have been a better title for the game, by the way, because it was a marionette. But I mean, you know, maybe
It's a kind of puppet. Yeah.
yeah. In the Venn diagram, no.
Let's not.
So yeah, puppet fights. I mean,
Puppet fights? Oh, fighting with puppets?
if they got robot wars, why not puppet fights?
I mean, really going back to the old Punch and Judy show. We didn't even talk about Punch and Judy.
Oh
my
yeah,
gosh.
no, that's another one.
The little neighborhood morality plays with the puppets and the Mr. Punch and Judy, and
Yeah.
they're just beating on each other all the time. And then the devil comes, and I don't really know the stories of Punch and Judy so much as those are creepy looking puppets.
Did that have anything to do, you think, with Meet the Feebles? Maybe that's like some sort of a...
Probably. Oh, there was probably some Punch and Judy DNA in Meet the Feebles. Like,
Yeah.
let's take it back to, yeah, street theater.
I remember seeing some cool puppet shows when I was little, but it was
Yeah.
more like there was one that was kind of a kabuki style
Yeah.
puppets that were, you know, made in that kind of they look like kabuki actors, and there was like it was
Right.
a kabuki puppet theater that we saw, and it was
Really
really
good.
kind of
Yeah.
cool. I saw it in Chicago when I was little, and
Sounds cool. And
Yeah.
then, there was like this other thing, like, I think they were more like, it's somewhere like between puppetry and dance and experimental film or whatever. Like, I feel like I remember seeing, where was it? It was, I don't know, the 70s were full of variety shows that would put on weird acts, so I don't know if it was
yeah,
from that
there's
or
tons.
what, but you know, the weird, you know, groups that would come out and like have like toilet paper rolls as their
Yeah.
means of communicating or something. Oh, like the Helping Hands in Labyrinth. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Where it was
think
like all they just hands, and some of them made faces, and it's like, oh, there's so many people coordinating together to do this. That's awesome.
I think I remember seeing some of that stuff on Sesame Street too.
On Sesame Street too. Yeah. Sesame Street. Yeah.
Because the thing with the toilet paper that reminded me of
I
that.
think it must have been Sesame Street.
Strips of paper on their face where they would pull off their
Yeah.
eyes. And was that Sesame Street?
It could have been. It was some, yeah, probably. Sesame Street was like back late 70s Sesame Street. That was some good stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know what they do now, but
Who knows?
pretty freaking woke back then. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Puppets with eyes that are strips of paper, man. Whoa. Explains a lot. No, it doesn't explain anything.
No, it doesn't. There's an interesting crossover between that and animatronics too, I think, that we
Yeah.
talked about previously. And when you do the stop motion animation stuff, I know that Phil Tippett referred to the Ed 209 puppet. So I mean there are puppets
Oh, yeah. It's,
and models that you will, you know, they don't call them they call them a puppet, right? Because they're manipulating them in a way.
here's a question.
Yeah.
So you're old school Godzilla,
Uh-huh.
like the old Toho films. Is that a puppet?
How many Godzillas are too much?
How many Godzillas are too many? If you want one of those stickers, I'll put it on Etsy one day.
I got one of those stickers, but that's just because I'm special.
Yeah, exactly. Special people that are friends of me got some stickers recently. That's an awesome Godzilla sticker, and I don't know. I'm gonna take it to a craft show.
So you're saying is I mean there are some puppet-y things going on in a Godzilla suit. right? If these are people in the suit.
Yeah, I know. It's like it's a whole body puppet. Yeah, it's people in a suit. But, is it a puppet or just a guy in a suit? But it doesn't matter.
But there are also puppeteers operating other things, I'm sure.
There's puppeteers doing stuff. Like Jabba the Hutt, I was like 3 people puppeteering that.
Yeah.
There was like 2 people up in the head and then one little person down in the tail wiggling stuff around. Like,
yeah. I'm reminded of The Tick.
The Tick.
Yeah. Did you see the Patrick Warburton Tick show that they had?
No, I never saw that one. And every time it gets brought up, I'm like, why didn't I see that?
You need to check it out. I mean, it's only like 7 episodes. 7 or 6 were made. And
that's about as many as I have patience for. Yeah.
In any case, the puppetry on the antenna were like perfect, like in tune with exactly his acting, and like he would act surprised and the antenna would react. It was like there was a puppeteer manipulating the antenna, and sometimes the antenna would get the laugh, not him, right? Because it's like the emotion that you convey through that. Pretty funny.
Oh man, that's the one thing about puppeteers this is what I hear from, people who've worked with the Muppets, is that they're always trying to upstage everybody else.
Really?
Yeah, they're going off script, they're improvising, they're doing weird stuff all the time, and it's either you're good at rolling with it or you're not.
Right.
Apparently, Tim Curry in the Muppet Treasure Island movie, he could hang with the Muppets. He was right there with them as far as the ad-libbing and the upstaging and all the nonsense.
I just recently thought about him in a movie that I haven't seen in a long time, Congo.
Wow, Congo. It was like
where the gorilla was signing with the Nintendo Power Glove or some sort of thing.
Right, and like Ernie Hudson was in that too, right?
Yes, Ernie Hudson was in it.
It's like the other movie besides Ghostbuster that I recognize Ernie Hudson.
But that has nothing to do. Although, I think the gorilla was actually a puppet in that movie.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Puppets are cool.
Yeah.
I like practical effects. I like the knowing that there's like a human element behind it. So a lot of times I'll like really, really enjoy a puppet effect better than like a CG, depending. It really depends.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's a lot of that.
But I do think like with the more like the motion capture technology that sort of bridges both of that, I think it's gotten better and better. But then also there's stuff that's terrible still, because terrible is cheap.
Well, if by terrible you mean rushed, then
rushed. That's what I mean. Yeah, I think I guess so. Looks rushed.
There's that not only in movies but also video games, and
yeah,
the practical. I mean, we didn't even go into puppets in special effects like The Thing. My gosh. Some of the puppetry on those things, pretty freaky and cool at the same time, but just freaky.
Yeah, it's like, how do you do that? How do you think of doing that?
To a lesser extent, Alien also used some puppets, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, little baby alien, the chest burster,
the hello my baby, hello my honey, hello my ragtime gal.
That one, yep, that's right.
The Spaceballs one is my favorite. Any final words on puppets?
Any final words? Just make sure you wash your hand before and after using someone else's puppet.
You never know where that hand's been.
You never know where that puppet's been. Practice safe puppetry.
Maybe it's one of the puppets from Meet the Feebles. You never know.
Yeah, get out your pandemic vinyl gloves.
I'm going to say thank you, audience, for joining us on this week's episode of the Too Vague Podcast. My name is Ben.
My name is Andrew.
And we've been your hosts. Have a wonderful night. Bye.
Bye.
It's all right.
All right.
It's all right.